So the case for support is another key element of your fundraising strategy. Your case for support essentially answers the question, why should someone support this mission? Now, once upon a time, a case for support referred to a very specific printed item. It was a brochure that was something you would give to a donor. It's still used that way, especially in the case of capital campaigns or comprehensive campaigns where there's a kind of a case document made. But in a bigger sense, we always have to have that answer. Why should someone support this mission? That text, that copy can then be used in marketing materials, fundraising materials. It can be used on social media. It's a really, I call it like the sourdough starter, right, of your kitchen. It's a really flexible thing. You can use it in a lot of different ways and get a lot of good things out of it. But you have to have you have to have the conversation. You have to do the work to actually answer the question, why should someone support your mission? And that's not always easy to do because in the nonprofit space, sometimes we don't answer that question because we think it's self-evident. We think it's apparent that someone should support this mission because of all the good work we're doing. And one of the hard parts we have to kind of internalize in the fundraising space is that the merit of our mission alone does not guarantee donor support because there are a million organizations and they are all to varying degrees meritorious. They're all doing good work. So we can't just rely on that alone. We'll talk more about this when we get into the attitude we have around fundraising. So your case for support is probably not supported every year. It might be every other year you look at it and make sure it still reads well. It should combine elements of the mission and the vision. In other words, it should talk about where the organization is going to, as well as why the organization is doing the work it's doing. And again, it's not a single document. So don't think of this as something that needs to be designed and laid out and printed and put on a shelf. Think of it as a conversation that needs to be had. Side note, this is a great question to ask donors, to ask existing donors, to ask volunteers, to really get their opinion about why someone should support this mission. Not only does it give you good content, but it helps the people you're talking to reflect on why they support the organization. And it's always good to get our donors and our potential donors thinking, again, reflecting on their relationship with what we do.